We've been following 360 cameras for years, and we don't think we've seen this level of expectation build up so early for Insta360 X6. Usually the buzz kicks in after leaks become concrete. But this time, the conversation started the moment competitors began catching up. Because here's the truth, the 360 camera space isn't quiet anymore. And when a brand that has dominated for years faces real competition, the next release carries a different kind of weight. That's exactly where the Insta360 X6 stands right now. It's not just about what it will be, it's about what it needs to be. Let's start with what we actually know, or at least what seems credible. There have been multiple signs pointing toward the X6 being real. Certification listings don't lie often, and when a product shows up there, it usually means development is complete or very close. Add to that the chatter from known leakers, and it becomes clear the X6 isn't just speculation anymore. It's coming. But what's more interesting than whether it exists is what direction it's heading in. Unlike earlier generations where upgrades felt obvious, higher resolution, better stabilization, improved stitching, the X6 enters a market where those boxes are already checked. 8K video? Done. Smooth stabilization? Expected. Compact design? Standard. So now the question becomes, where do you go next? From what's being discussed across the community, the X6 is likely to focus less on raw resolution jumps and more on refinement. Think smoother frame rates, improved dynamic range, and stronger low-light performance. That alone suggests a shift in priorities, from spec sheet marketing to real-world usability. There's also growing talk about higher frame rates at top resolutions. This might sound like a small change on paper, but in practice it's huge. Anyone who has tried capturing fast-moving scenes in 360 knows how limiting lower frame rates can be. If the X6 manages to push beyond that, it could change how people shoot action content entirely. Another major talking point is color. Not just better color, but professional-grade color depth. This is something creators have been asking for loudly, and honestly, it's overdue. With editing workflows becoming more advanced, having more flexibility in post-production isn't a luxury anymore, it's a necessity. Then there's processing power. Every new generation gets faster, but this time it feels like the expectations are tied to something bigger. Smarter cameras. Not just faster stitching, but intelligent processing. Real-time adjustments. Better HDR. Cleaner low-light footage. And that leads to the most interesting rumor of all, AI integration. We're not talking about gimmicks here. The idea floating around is something far more ambitious. A camera that doesn't just capture everything, but understands what it's capturing. Imagine recording a scene and having the camera automatically highlight the best angles, track subjects, and prepare a usable edit before you even open an app. It sounds futuristic, but honestly, it doesn't feel impossible anymore. Now, timing is where things get a bit more predictable. Looking at past releases, there's a noticeable pattern shift. Earlier models used to launch later in the year, but recent ones have moved toward a spring release window. That trend alone makes an early to mid-2026 launch feel very likely. If everything aligns, April seems like a strong possibility. It fits the pattern, matches industry timing, and lines up with the usual pre-summer product cycle. But if Insta360 decides to go for the fall, then we'll have to wait a little more. Pricing, however, is a different story. If you look at how previous models were priced, there's a steady upward trend. Each new generation introduces improvements, and naturally the price follows. Add in global factors like production costs and component shortages, and it's hard to imagine the X6 being cheaper than its predecessor. Realistically, it will probably land slightly higher than before at launch. Not drastically more, but enough to reflect its position as a flagship product. That said, Insta360 has always played a clever pricing game. New models launch at premium pricing, while older ones drop quickly, creating a tiered lineup that appeals to both new users and upgraders. Expect the same strategy here, so while the X6 might feel expensive at first, it's part of a broader ecosystem strategy, rather than just a standalone price tag. If you really want to understand the X6, don't just look at leaks, look at what people are asking for. Because right now, the community isn't quiet. In fact, it's surprisingly vocal. One of the biggest demands is better color control. Not just richer visuals, but proper tools for creators who want to push their footage further. The absence of deeper color options in previous models has been a sticking point, and many users see this as a must-fix, not a bonus feature. Then there's the push for improved lens durability and replacement systems. Anyone who has used a 360 camera knows how vulnerable those lenses are. Even small scratches can ruin footage, and while replaceable lenses exist, people want a simpler, faster solution. Something intuitive, something practical. Another common request? Faster data transfer. It might not sound exciting, but it's one of those real-world issues that affects daily use. Waiting for footage to transfer or export can break the workflow, especially for creators working on tight timelines. It's not flashy, but fixing it would make a noticeable difference. Battery life is also high on the list. Shooting in high resolution pushes hardware hard, and users want longer recording times without worrying about overheating or shutdowns. A small boost here could significantly improve usability. And then there's AI, again, but this time it's coming directly from users. People don't just want AI features, they want meaningful ones. Smarter tracking, better auto edits, cameras that reduce the time spent behind a computer. There's also a broader expectation forming, one that goes beyond specs. People want the X6 to feel like a complete upgrade, not just a better camera, but a better experience. That includes software, ecosystem, accessories, and overall usability. In a way, the wishlist reflects something deeper. Users aren't asking for more features, they're asking for fewer frustrations. The Insta360 X6 sits in a fascinating position. On the one hand, it has the advantage of legacy. The brand knows what works, it has experience, a strong user base, and a clear identity. On the other hand, it's facing a market that's no longer standing still. And that's what makes this release so important. Because this isn't just about improving a product, it's about maintaining leadership. From everything we've seen and heard, the X6 isn't aiming to reinvent the category overnight. Instead, it seems focused on refining it. Smoother performance, better image quality, smarter features. And honestly, that might be exactly what the market needs right now. There's also a subtle shift happening in how people think about cameras. It's no longer just about capturing footage, it's about simplifying the process from start to finish. Shooting, editing, sharing, it all needs to feel seamless. If the X6 can deliver on that front, it won't just meet expectations, it will redefine them. But expectations are high for a reason. When a brand leads for so long, people expect every new release to raise the bar. Not slightly, significantly. Whether the Insta360 X6 can live up to that remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, it won't be judged quietly. Subscribe for more content like this, and as always, thanks for watching.